Hi guys, welcome back to this week's vlog. It's a very early start today. It's currently 6:30. We're just about to leave home to go to the stables, which is only about 10-12 minutes away because we've now moved house, so we're no longer half an hour away, which is just amazing because else we would have had to have been up a lot earlier. But in today's vlog we are going showing again. Now over this summer you might have quite a lot of showing vlogs, guys, because it's that time of year again where it's the shows on grass and things, and I really enjoy my showing, so that is what we're going to be doing today. I've actually vlogged this show. This will be my third year vlogging it, so you guys will all recognize the place once we are there. But we're gonna get to the stables now, get Dan in and start getting him platted and ready. So guys, we are now at the stables. I'm just walking to get Dan in. Today is gonna be a very busy day, and you guys are going to be coming along basically on my whole day. But in this vlog it's just going to be riding footage of me showing, and then later on this afternoon, once I finish this vlog, I'll be starting another vlog for you guys to come along with me, which will basically be on another day. So today obviously I'm going showing, like I've already said, because it's a busy day. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do 2 classes because we need to be picking somebody up at 1:20 because we've got to then go somewhere else to be left meeting other people at 2 o'clock to be somewhere for a certain time. Now obviously that means we've got to have ridden Dan, driven back here, sorted him out, taken the trailer back, and to have got changed, drive to where we need to pick someone up. So it's probably going to be a little bit of a rush today, but it's fine, we can do this. Hello ponies, morning. Mwah. Good boy. Let's put the head collar on. So the classes I'm doing today, so basically the showing starts at 9:30 and my class is the first one. So the class I'm thinking of doing, which I've done before, not with Danny, but when I was a lot younger, like 4 and younger, I used to do it with my little Shetland and my little 12-hump pony Jack. But we're going to go in tack and turn out. So if you guys are not sure what tack and turn out is, when Dan decides he's going to come, I know in a minute he's going to go for a poo. You kind of got to pull him along for him to go for a poo. Sounds strange, I know. He's coming now. He'll stop in a minute and go for a poo. So yeah, I'm going to tack and turn out. So for the people that don't know what that is, basically is the judge is going to be seeing how clean your tack is, how clean and smart you look, and how clean and smart your horse looks. Now, because I haven't had that much time, really, he's not going to be the smartest he could be, which is quite annoying. For an example, like I cleaned all my tack last night at like 1 o'clock, early hours this morning, but it's more like his legs. I was hoping to get his legs clipped today, well not today but for today, but that hasn't happened. So his legs aren't fully grown back, but his feathers are starting to come through, so he could look smarter in the sense of them being clipped. But yeah, I've cleaned my tack, everything of mine, like my riding boots and everything like that's all clean. So it's basically just making sure that my plaits are looking good, or as good as they can be, and making sure that Dan looks clean. So that's the class that we're going to be doing. If we've still got enough time, then I will go into the next class, which I'm thinking of doing. If not, that's going to be the only class that we are doing today, because then we'll be leaving to bring Dan back here. So I'm going to put the camera down now, guys, and get it platted so that we are all on time, and I'll see you guys once he's all platted. So I have my plaiting stuff here, guys. The spray I use is the NAF Plait It Up. I highly recommend this. I used it all last year when I done my showing as well. It's basically mousse, and what it does is I put his mane into sections of what I'm going to plait. Then I spray this, which basically gets all of the little loose hairs up the top, all stuck together, and also makes it tighter for me to plait. So if you guys do like dressage, showing, eventing, and you need to plait your ponies, I do highly recommend these. I actually got this from Mill Valley, but you'll be able to get it in any of your local tack stores. I also then use this, which is basically to brush his mane and then to section it. So that's the width of my plaits that I do. And then the rest of the mane, while I'm plaiting the section, I just clip back so it's out of my way. These are really good. Again, I've had this way before I even had Dan. And then obviously my black plaiting bands, because his mane's black, but obviously you can have any colour plaiting bands for whatever colour your pony is, whether you're white, brown, chestnut, any colour basically. But let's get plaited. Right guys, his plaits are done. They're not amazing, like for example the little one, and then all the other ones are big, but I can't really do much about that. But apart from that, it looks good. This is the best forelock one I've done. Still not amazing, but it's the best one I've done this year for definite, and especially in a long time. So he's all done. Because I mentioned we're not really prepared in the sense of like his legs and things, normally I clip his bridle path, but we're going to just try and trim it down with scissors just so it looks a little bit better, aren't we, Dad? So I'm going to give him a good brush now. I also need to brush his tail as well, and then he's done. There's little Dawny. Okay guys, I've trimmed up his beard with scissors the best I can, if you can see there, and we've also done his bridle path with scissors as well. So he's looking so much better. So all it really is now is his legs, which we can't do, which they don't look that bad, but it would be better if they were done. When it's done, I'm going to get you some hay. So guys, we're going to go up and get the trailer now, and then we can come back. We're meant to actually be left by now, well, in 20 minutes. But yeah. That's done, all loaded. Just gonna do the ramp up, guys, and we are on the way. We have actually just got to stop to get fuel because we didn't do that this morning, we forgot. So we're on the way there. There's a garage passing anyway, so we don't have to go out of the way, and then we'll drive straight there. Good boy. We are here, guys. So if you guys was around last year watching me, or even the year before, you might recognise this. We are quite late, to be honest, because as we mentioned, we had to go and get fuel. But it's all good. It's fine. We just have to get the entry straight away and get tacked up, but it's fine. Well, they've all gone now, but there was lots of lorries in front of us, and there's a few behind us as well. Very busy already. We're normally like right at the top because we're always early, but not today. my class, which, just to remind you guys, is tack and turnout. Now, as you can see, there is quite a lot of us, and we're all mixed ages. Obviously, as you can see right in front of us, the one on the little greys on lead rein, there's quite a few on the lead rein, and there was slightly older ones, and then there was actually a few lot older that I would say was around my age, and then maybe a little bit older. So whatever show you go to, as I mentioned in my last showing vlog, you come into the ring and you all walk around together just like we are doing. As you can see me just behind the judge, I have just done a circle. That's because if you get too close to the horse in front of you, as long as you can see a wide enough space somewhere around the ring, you are allowed to do a circle like I just have, or ride right across to get into the space, because obviously you don't want to be too close behind horse just in case they kick. And obviously, as you can see, there are quite a lot of smaller ponies. Dan's got a lot bigger stride than them, so it is fine to do a circle, and that's basically why I've done it, if you guys were wondering. So we basically just walk around, and we can be walking around for a very long time until the judge calls you in. So here the judge said that we were allowed to come in and stand in any order in the middle of the ring, so that's what we are all doing. And then basically you start from the left hand side. The first person will come in, and then the judge will tell them what they need to do and will speak to them, and then you just slowly come along the line, and the steward who's with the judge will come along to you, and then will tell you when you're able to go and stand in front of the judge, and then basically you go and do your show. So at the moment everyone's all walking around and coming into the middle. I'm going to try and keep it raw, but my dog is barking a lot on this particular day. Do not ask why, so there might be some music. I'm just quickly popping on here to tell you what the judge was basically saying to me, because I have kept it raw, so you'll be able to hear people obviously on the day, but you can't actually hear what the judge is saying to me. So the judge is just asking me how old Danny is, what's his name, what do I do with him, and then we'll say whether she wants you to do a show or just to walk around. So because it is tack and turn out, and they are literally judging on the smartness and how you've turned your horse out and yourself, and like the cleanliness of you, you don't actually have to do a show, so you just have to walk around. So as you can see, the judge is just walking around seeing what he's turned out like, and if I've got the correct stuff on for both of us, and basically what I'm wearing. And while she's doing that, she's asking me all the questions. Sorry, there's lots of voice notes. I'm probably annoying you by keep hopping on, but I just want to make it clear so that you guys know what's actually going on. So here, everybody's done their little walk around, and the judge has seen everybody. So we now all have to walk around, and as you can see, the judge and the steward are stood in the middle of the ring. So this is now where the judge is talking to the steward, deciding on who they want to put first, and goes up to 7th place. So you can literally be walking around for such a long time. Showing does take time, it's not like a 5-minute thing like jumping, but yeah, obviously they've got to make their decision who they want to put first, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. And obviously, as you can see, there's a lot more people in the ring than 7 people, so you get rosettes up to 7th place. And then the people that didn't get placed, you basically have to stand behind the people that did get placed, and you just get like a little well done rosette. So we're just continuing walking around, and the judge and the steward is still deciding. As you can see, the steward is now walking off to go and collect all of the rosettes. First place also gets a sash as well. And you also win something, which I'm pretty sure the prize was a mane and tail brush. So the steward has just pulled in the first place, which was the little girl on the bay, and it basically just continues until everyone is stood in the middle. So I'm going to put some music on now. Plat's out, fly rug back on because he's going to be going out in the field, and Overreach Boot just going to give him his apple leaf kit bar now. You're starved, aren't you? Look at that curly mane.
You have to save a bit for when he goes in.
The trailer. No, about half when you're in the trailer, right? Yes, you're gonna have it. We've got an ice cream, guys. I've got strawberry sauce, but it's melting. Dan's been such a good boy. I'll debrief in the car. No, you're not having it, Dan, because I know you'll just spit it out. That's what it'll do, guys. Good boy. In we go. Oh, put you up there, guys. Ooh. If it's gonna stay there.
You have to come out this way.
Yep. You good boy. Nice easy day for you today, wasn't it, Dan? So we are on our way home. Well, back to the stables with Dan, obviously. And Dan was a very good boy today. We've only been able to do one class, as you guys already know, because obviously we've already seen the footage. So we done the tack and turn out, which I said that was the class I was going to do, and I'll just tell you what the class actually is. So it's basically it goes on how your horse has turned out, how you're turned out, like if you've got the correct wear for your horse and yourself, and obviously like cleanliness and things. So we went in. Now we didn't have to do a show for this class because the judge was literally just looking at how clean we were and tidy and if we had the correct stuff on. So we all had to walk around together. There was kind of like a mix of us. There was obviously a lot of little ones on the lead rein. It was any age could go in. It wasn't for lead reins. There just seemed to be a lot of lead reins. And then there was a few older ones, and then there was an older lady. Well, she wasn't old, but she was like obviously a lot older than me. She took her horse to the first show this year and done it in hand. So there was a whole range of us, and then there was a girl on a thoroughbred, and it was her horse's first show. It's only come off the tracks from racing like a few months ago, so it was her first show with the horse. So yeah, there was a whole different range of us. So we all had to walk around together, and then we got pulled into the middle, and then we basically just spoke to the judge and then walked around. Now the judge that was in my class, I actually know her, and I didn't go in there because I knew her. The reason why we done tack and turn out is because we're on a very tight scale, and the other classes were further down and we needed to be left by the time that those classes started. So I went into the first class hoping that I would be able to do the class further down, but wasn't sure. So that's why we went into the tack and turn out, because we don't normally do tack and turn out. I've never done it with Dan, but I've done it like when I was a lot younger. So obviously, so it's Jane, and it's really funny as well because Jane actually found Danny for us. So anyway, so I was speaking to her. Obviously she already knew Danny and things, and she was just looking to see how I turned him out and things. And then I just had to walk round to the back of the queue and then line up and wait for the rest of them. And then we all walked round together, and then she decided who she was going to pull in. So we didn't actually get placed. So we went behind because the people that was behind didn't get placed. You just got a rose. Hang on, I think. Yeah, so it is. We basically just got one of these rosettes. I'm pretty sure it just says well done. And she said to me the reason why I didn't get placed was because she knew me and she didn't want to place me because she already knew me, which is fair enough. So yeah, that's basically the reason why we got placed. She did say to me that we were both beautifully turned out, but she just didn't want to place me because she knew us, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. So that was the end of the class, and then we walked out, and then we didn't have to do a lap of one because obviously there was a lot of little ones and not all of them were confident enough to like trot and canter. So the people that got placed, I think it went up to like 7th place, they just all walked around together, and then me and like the rest of us that didn't get placed, we just walked straight out of the class, which is good. And then I did actually go to the second ring because the second show I was doing was with a different judge, and the class I was going to do was pony most suitable to its rider. But unfortunately there was another 2 classes after, and they were quite big classes as well, so it takes quite a long time to get through a class at showing. If you guys have never done showing before, it does take, it's not like a 5-minute thing. So we just generally wouldn't have had enough time, we needed to leave, so obviously we had to miss the second class. So we just got an ice cream, which was a Mr. Whippy's, which I literally love Mr. Whippy's. And then I took Dan's plats out and loaded him back up, and now we're just on our way home. But Dan, each time, so obviously I went up to the warm-up and walked, trotted and cantered him around, and just now when I get on him I find it so much easier to get him in and out line. Like before there would be a little bit of like can't think of the word, like he would be trying like fighting kind of thing, and it would take a little while for me to get him going nicely, whereas now I can get on him and I seem to get it with him, and obviously I'm used to doing it with him now and I now know how to do it. So obviously that's why I'm finding it easier, which is a nice thing instead of fighting against each other, because that isn't very pleasant. But yeah, really happy with how it went, even though we literally done our show and walk, but still, I mean, Dan's always well behaved anyway, but he was in a nice outline and he looked very nice. And even if I say so myself, you guys might think differently, but considering he hasn't had his legs clipped and he hasn't really had that much done to him this morning except from a brush and being plaited, I think he looked quite smart. But again, you guys might think differently. He is my horse, so of course I'm going to say that. But yeah, really happy with him, and there's a lot more shows this summer, so the plan is to get out to some more. I've also entered a show that I done last year with Dan. Sorry guys, I'm getting Dan out because we're still having to unload on the hill, because where we normally go into our field there is a massive hole with a sign and we can't get our trailer around, it's too tight, so we have to unload on the hill, which is what we used to do, but we just haven't done it in a while except from the other day. Good boy Dan. So yeah, really happy with him. Yeah, so really happy with him. Next weekend we're going dressage, which is going to be the first dressage competition this year, so that's what we're doing next weekend, so stay tuned for that. Sorry it hasn't been the best of vlogs or not a great lot of footage, but I'm still going to upload this because it's reality, and I'm gonna now start my second vlog, so stay tuned for the second vlog to see where we go and what we're doing. But for now, if you haven't already, please make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.